Hey everyone, this is going to be an instructional video for newer players. This run went really well, and I felt like there were a lot of instructional moments, so I figured I'd share it. I'll be commenting as the run progresses on just different situations and thought processes. Hopefully things that help improve your gameplay. So, after scanning the planet a bit, I found this level 107 and figured I'd just drop in and see how he does. We'll just speed this part here up and then we'll discuss loadouts, drop points. So here I'm just going to pause it a bit and kind of explain how I look at drop points, just because I noticed there's a lot of different approaches to this. But in my opinion, you always just picture a circle in your head and drop at the start of the circle and make sure the circle ends at the extraction point. You'll see me pinging at the top there, suggesting that he drops this at the start of the circle here, but it appears that he wants to drop as far away from the extract point as he can, which is another pattern I see when people are choosing starting points. I don't like this because it forces us to spread out and kind of run in different directions, but it still works for us, so we'll see how that plays out. My loadouts for bots are pretty straightforward. If I have 4 slots, sometimes I'll take a jetpack or a shield pack, but we only have 3 here, so I'm taking autocannon since it has a backpack anyways, and then I get to take my 2 favorite stratagems, which are the the rocket pods and the orbital laser. Those are just my preference. There are plenty of other really good options. Rail cannon strike. You'll notice 3 players here are taking the Eagle airstrike. That's a really high tier choice. Could be better than the rocket pods even, but I use my rocket pods very situationally, so I have my reasons for taking that instead. Okay, and so as far as perk choice goes, I would say that stamina booster and the full supplies booster are the 2 essential ones. They should be in every single mission, no matter what. The rest are optional, various tiers, like different playstyles. I disagree with reinforcement boosters categorically. I will never take them, and I don't like when other players take them, but this is level 9 mission, and we're all adults here, so we're not going to make a big deal about it. This will hopefully work out anyways. If you're unable to decide on a 3rd or 4th perk, I would recommend maybe reduced patrols or muscle enhancements, just because they do have a minor effect on your speed through bushes and other random terrain, so they can still be slightly helpful.
Launch initiated.
So one thing we're going to be looking for as we drop here is there may be enemies in the area directly where we land, so it's important for all teammates to prioritize looking around and shooting, especially small enemies that could trigger dropships or other types of reinforcements. I really can't stand it when players just summon their support weapons immediately and stand there totally ignorant to the fact that there's enemies around. You know, like the other day I watched a guy stand there waiting for his shield bag, and essentially he just got killed by an enemy standing next to him, and another small guy that he could have killed called a patrol in on us, and I just essentially got frustrated and kicked him from my game right away because I don't really have time for that kind of stupidity. But yeah, I've been noticing lately though that these missions automatically call patrols at the start, it seems. Like, I don't even think that there was a signal flare there, so I did recognize that my team was fighting as well, so I'll give them credit for that. You notice I called my support weapon in over here where it's safe. I did get split up from the team, but I did recognize on my map really quickly there that there was an objective, so I'm going to use my orbital laser here to deal with this bunker. The laser has a long cooldown, like a few minutes, so I just wanted to use it as quickly as I could, get it on cooldown so that I can use it again on another objectives, you know, as soon as I get the chance. You'll notice I'm also not really like concentrating on killing things. I'm just getting the objectives done and moving for cover. The reason for that is there's one thing that I really think signifies the difference between a good team and a bad team. Bad teams tend to get hung up in one area, fighting patrol after patrol, dropship after dropship, and they essentially get caught in this loop of just dying over and over again, but they're getting tons of kills and they're not completing objectives. So that observation has led me to a little theory. I'll actually post a formula on the screen for you right now to explain this. Skill equals objectives divided by kills. Now, I say this lightheartedly because obviously I'm not trying to imply that you should try to get 0 kills or that if you don't kill anything, that means you're infinitely good at this game. But I think the point I'm trying to make is that you should be pushing objectives like your life depends on it. And that's the purpose of this game, is to complete the objectives. If your kill count starts getting too high, it's because you're not playing properly. You're getting stuck. You're fighting dropships. You're causing a snowball of patrols. And you're essentially just wasting lives and resources. And I think this formula also is important because I think this is the reason why you end up with bad players at higher difficulties. You know, they might play a mission, Terminids or something like that, and get 400 kills, and then, you know, they think that means they're incredibly good at this game, and, you know, they're ready for Helldive mode. But essentially, the truth is, like, these could be players that are terrible because, you know, they don't know how to do objectives efficiently. They are the types of players that get stuck and, you know, like, waste half the mission in the same area, while like the rest of us are out there actually getting things done. So just keep that in consideration, right? You want to kill only what's necessary to complete the objectives and also to protect your teammates. So you'll see throughout this run that I do like invest time in, you know, keeping an eye on my team and seeing what I need to do to protect them as well. So right now I'm just working my way back towards the team. I'm using my rocket pods to defeat this bunker, and I'm going to use my grenade pistol on this one here. Figured I'd just take this outpost down quick on the way. No problem. You know, at my level I don't need samples anymore, so I'm not really interested in running in there and searching for them. So what I've done is just completed the objective quickly and left the area. Used a stun grenade on that dropship. Just to get the hell out of there, because like there's no need to kill any of that stuff. There's no need to fight any of it. The objectives are done. My team is way over there without me, so my priority is just to get over there. But on the way over there I hear this ATAT, so I realized that I might have to deal with this just in case it locks up on us while we're trying to do an objective. So right now I'm going to concentrate on killing this thing. You'll notice I don't use stratagems on these. Essentially, the simplest way to deal with them is just to kill these 2 miniguns underneath his head, because those are by far the biggest threat. Once you've blown those off, which you can do with a variety of weapons, all you need to do is just get underneath them and shoot them in the belly, that hatch where the Devastators come out, and they drop pretty quickly. It's a significant weak point. So you'll watch me just concentrate on the miniguns. I even took a cannon shot there. I'm wearing explosive resistant armor just because I want to be able to tank rockets and cannons. I'd ban the rock. I'm just going to shoot that hell bomb just to kill the Devastators. I ran back here because I realized I had no stims, so I just want to resupply really quick before I move in there on him. I'm going to kill this guy before I put the supply pod down. Can't afford to be taking hits right now with no stims. And I can see my team's doing a fantastic job doing objectives over there. Taking that bunker out with that laser. That guy's all on his own.
Reloading.
We're just aiming for the head with the autocannon on these Devastators. You can one-shot them if you get it in the right spot.
Dropping a pin, north, 200 meters.
Okay, let's grab some stims and get in there. So let's make sure those miniguns are dead.
Reinforcing.
Which they are, so now what we need to do is just get underneath them. I dove just in case that cannon hit me. So we'll kill some of these Devastators. Now we're just looking for the belly here, right? See, I'm not worried about reloading here just because the Devastators are weak and the miniguns are destroyed, so there's nothing really threatening me at this moment. I just post up and shoot the hatch and the ATAT goes down.
100 meters.
No problem. And I'm just going to run and find somewhere safe to reload. And that's that for the ATAT. And you'll notice here my teammate is, paying attention to where I am and what's going on, and he's covering me. So, this guy's obviously a very experienced player. That's something I don't see often enough in high-level games. Even it's just people paying attention to what their teammates are going through, right? Like, the fact he recognized I needed a little bit of cover there is good instead of just, leaving me to die. So. Yeah, now we can just move on together to try to reunite with the other two.
Tagging location, north.
Dropping a pin, northwest, 200 meters. New mag. Sample collected.
I don't know why I felt like grabbing this sample.
Got a sample.
Didn't need it, but I just felt compelled to grab it, so I did.
Affirmative.
And then I'm just noticing here that these guys have cleared out this entire area without triggering a snowball or massive reinforcement chain. So
50 meters.
starting to get the impression already that they're very good players, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this match.
Spot outpost. Heavy, north, 50 meters.
So coming up here, you'll see a guy die, and I check my mini map immediately after. That's a habit that I have, even though I saw on my screen where he was at the time. Essentially, something I want to recommend to new players is when someone dies, everyone should check their mini map, and whoever's closest to like the indicator where he's dead should reinforce that player, just so they're near their equipment. Doesn't really make sense to me to blindly just reinforce as soon as you see a dead player. You can end up calling them in somewhere really stupid. That guy on my team was lucky the rocket pods have homing on them because they bounced off of the fabricator and landed next to him, but they still managed to target the fabricator instead of him. And that's essentially what I like about them. I'm able to throw them around teammates without killing them. Most of the other airstrikes and orbitals, I find like, they get the job done dealing with fabricators, but you're killing your teammates a lot with them too. So, I mean, assuming that you're a bad player, which, is a factor. But you'll notice these guys, through all three of the levels we run, don't kill each other or me with their Eagle airstrikes. So, they're in good hands. But in my case, I just like the rocket pods because they're very safe and very reliable, and they do exactly what I need them to do. So, moving on.
Rare sample collected. Reloading. Throwing grenade.
Mission at 30 minutes remaining.
Here I'm just looking over at that mortar emplacement, but they take it down. So I'm just gonna head towards the next objective. Happen to be a patrol there, so we're just gonna use a stun grenade. Stun grenades are OP as fuck. Basically, just can face tank an entire patrol. My teammate also had my back there, so you know this is working pretty good for us.
Tagging map, south, 100 meters. Tagging map, southwest, 200 meters.
Enemy elite.
Coming around the corner
Southwest,
here, I can
50
see
meters.
the red light from the fabricator there, so I was just waiting for the cooldown on my rocket pods, but I see that he's thrown an Eagle airstrike, so I'm just gonna move on. Let him destroy those and see what needs to be done to get deeper into this base here. Blow the fence up. We're gonna clear these mines. I think it just makes sense to take a second to clear mines when you see them. You never know, and someone's gonna be backing up once they've tried to push the objective and wind up stepping on one that seemed like it was easy to avoid earlier. Now we don't have to worry about that.
Dropping a pin. Southwest. 200 meters.
Dropship!
Didn't look like I really needed to push further into there. My team's already cleared everything, so we're gonna run from this dropship because we don't want our kill count to get too high and our skill level to go down.
Requesting air support.
You know, like I said earlier, though, I had to turn around just to fire a couple cover shots off. There's another objective. You know, just takes an orbital laser, so we're gonna stay in undercover here. I want to clear some things out of this area because, you know, while that laser kills the objective, I think we want to kind of chill over here. The lasers from those bunkers can essentially one-shot you if they hit you straight on, so you don't want to run around unaware of whether you're visible or not until that bunker's completely destroyed. So that's what we did.
Reloading!
Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery. Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery. Enemy patrol, northwest. Engaging. Okay. Requesting.
So right now I've got my mind on getting to that mortar emplacement. I'm trying to clear any small guys that could come up behind me or essentially call a dropship or something while I'm trying to push the objective here. I just want to be able to focus on what's in front of me, so we've done that. I'm just having a scan. I'm trying to stay undercover while I figure out the best way to approach this. These turrets are really deadly, so I always hit them first with my autocannon just to make sure I clear the guy off of them. We're going to try to clear all the smalls as quickly as we can. Mainly just because, like I said, I don't want them calling dropships or running up on me while I'm trying to get onto this turret here. So far no patrols, so we're just going to maintain cover and shooting enemies in their weak points. If you didn't know, those Striders, they have like a faceplate, but then like the legs and like that section between the legs is weak to medium armor penetration, so you can kill them just by shooting them there with you know, my Dominator or the autocannon. We're gonna just get behind this turret, kill it. I'm not worrying about the small guys right now because I'm not really in danger, so the objective takes priority.
Sending in an Eagle!
Finish the objective with some quick rocket pods, and we are gonna leave. Again, high efficiency. I don't feel like I really killed anything more than was necessary. I'm leaving anything that's still alive now that the objective's done. And my teammates are not in the area, so they're not in
Dropping
danger
a pin.
either.
Northeast, 300 meters.
Sample collected.
Essentially for the rest of this video, we're just making our way to extract. Usually this is the best time to actually run around and look for samples if you need them, because a lot of the bases will just be completely devoid of enemies at this point, and you can just go scoop up whatever's been left behind. Essentially I'm just looking for patrols, avoiding them, trying to make sure I'm standing next to rocks whenever possible so that I'm covered if something I didn't see tries to attack me. Paying attention to my teammate, trying to, you know, I'm watching this guy here, making sure that if he does get in danger, I'm going to help him out. If not, I'm going to continue running. The extract ends up being, you know, fairly uneventful. It's not crazy. We get out easily, so
Extraction is available.
feel free to skip ahead to the statistics screen because that's probably the next time I'll have something to say. We'll just let this play out then.
Dropship! Fly beacon! Calling in extraction!
Affirmative. Thank you.
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
Calling down a support weapon!
Marking location. Danger. Calling down a support weapon.
Requesting advanced weaponry! Pack inbound! Calling down a support weapon!
ETA T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Changing ice! Freedom never sleeps! How'd you like to taste of freedom? Must defend prosperity! Enemy patrol, northwest.
ETA T-minus 1 minute.
Southwest. New mag! Reloading!
ETA T-minus 30 seconds. ETA T-minus 20 seconds.
Southwest.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds. Clear landing zone.
Body, north.
Pelican 1 approaching pickup.
Requesting orbital!
Engaging orbital
Pelican
laser.
1 landing sequence initiated. Watch where you're standing.
Requesting air support! Orbital inbound! Requesting orbital! Requesting air support!
Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff. Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent. You have maintained our way of life.
Okay, so here we're gonna have a quick peek at how many deaths there were. You know, like I said earlier, I don't really care about the kills. We got the objectives done. We did them efficiently. I'm happy with the way this went. You'll see the two of us didn't die at all. This is why, like I say, I don't really like reinforcement boosters because, you know, if your team plays properly, they're wasting a slot essentially. That slot could have easily been, you know, muscle enhancements or something, or reduced patrols, and actually did something for us there. But, you know, we're not, you know, trying to be overbearing or, you know, gatekeeping what people are allowed to bring. So whatever people want to bring, that's on them, right? We're going to work with it. This is an eradicate mission. I always take EMS mortar and regular mortar. I feel like in these missions they're essential. Third slot will take autocannon. I'm switching to slugger just because that's my go-to. I love it. I was just running the Dominator for fun, essentially, but there were a lot of situations where I felt like I was trying to shoot enemies and it just wasn't hitting them. Like, I don't know if this game has like a hitbox bug or, you know, the coding on the accuracy is poor, but I find that with the slugger, like, it's a lot more reliable as far as my experience with targeting enemies. Stamina's not as important in this mission, even though I would still say it's top 2, but I went with the supplies booster. I just feel like you don't have time for resupplies in this eradicate mission, so we want to be topped off if we happen to die. In these missions, my general strategy is I just find a spot around the perimeter on the very, very outside of the level where, you know, you're essentially almost out of bounds. And I'll just hole up there. I'm going to put my mortars down and protect them with my autocannon. I'm not going to try to do anything crazy. I'm not trying to be the one with the most kills. I'm just going to play it safe. Try not to die. Just be patient, right? Like, you know, if everyone just plays smart, you'll complete this level no problem. This area, I figured I should grab my support weapon, but I'm not quite satisfied with this as a safe location, so I'm just going to keep looking. Running around the corner here, like, there's another ramp, so I don't really like it here. But then I make it around this corner and I see a perfect spot for my mortars. This is kind of like there's a little corner here where they're shielded from any enemies that might be approaching, so I'm going to put them down there. That means I'm also just going to chill here until I either die or I get overrun. Looks like my teammates are just buddy system over there, keeping each other safe, and it's going well, so. Hulk should be no problem. We just got to shoot him right in the eye twice. These guys, the Berserkers, I just aim for their waist because it's just easier for me to hit. It's such a big target. The other large enemy types don't have that big glowing red spot, so I tend to go for the head, but with those guys, I don't know, the waist is just too easy to shoot. Yeah, we're just going to chill over here and snipe Hulks and try to kill what we can. Let the mortars do most of the work. I see this walker here, so what I'm thinking here is after this Hulk's dead, I'm going to try to kill the miniguns as quickly as I can, just because the miniguns will be a threat to my teammates. And if I want to make sure they don't die, I'm going to have to destroy those. And then I'll assess afterwards if I can even kill the ATAT myself. You can see it's trying to crawl up on them. But I think I killed the miniguns there, so they should be fine. The walker's really not a threat after those miniguns are down, so. Those guys snuck up on me and killed my turrets, so I was kind of pissed off about that, but whatever. Oh no, there's one more minigun, so we'll kill that minigun here. And I just get the feeling that it's clear on the way to the walker, so I'm actually going to go for it. I'm going to run up and just shoot him in the belly. And he's dead. I'm just going to go back to my safe place. I see this tank come down. I know that's going to roll up on me if I stick around over here, so...
Reinforcing.
I think at this point it's time to just leave the area.
Heavy.
Helldiver, you are moving outside the mission area.
Requesting sentry. Calling down a sentry. Requesting advanced weaponry. Dropship. You have been a stalwart line of freedom. Extract when ready.
Calling down a sentry!
Calling down a sentry.
Requesting sentry!
Requesting
Extraction
sentry.
request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
I didn't see a lot of deaths in this run either. So obviously these guys, you know, are familiar with this layout. They know a space they like to hang out in
Requesting sentry!
and fight from. So we're just all throwing our mortars down just to cover the dropship, or sorry, the Pelican. You know, we're just gonna linger here for a second, make sure everybody can actually make it in. And, you know, once we realize they can, then everyone jumps in. M4 seems a little bit more interested in squeezing a few more kills in, but fortunately he makes it.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
I need supplies. I'm sorry. Affirmative. Affirmative. Thank you. I need supplies. Prevails once more. I'm sorry. Hold position. Follow me.
You guys have probably noticed at this point that we haven't really been overwhelmed. You know, there's lots of complaints about the size of patrols and, you know, just like the endless seas of enemies that, you know, some people can't handle. But, you know, if you're in a team that's efficient at killing and knows what to kill and when to run and, you know, when to fight and when not to fight, it's pretty clear that you can run, you know, 2, 3, 4 missions in a row and just like never actually be overwhelmed, right? And so again here we're not looking at kills because that doesn't matter, but I am noticing that, you know, 3 people didn't die during this mission, so, you know, they're playing smart, they're playing safe, you know, they're playing efficiently. This is, you know, what gets the job done, guys. Like, that's what we like to see.
A siege upon managed democracy.
Coordinates locked. Hellpods primed. Engaging orbital thrusters.
So anyways, here, what I think would make the most sense would be to drop up by the extract point and then work our way in a clockwise circle around the map. So I guess we'll see what this guy does. Looks like he thinks about it and recognizes that's probably the best course of action, so. Yep, right there. Come on, do it. Looked like he was thinking about dropping us past the first objective. One thing I recommend not doing ever is dropping yourself between objectives. Like, at least like have a clear unidirectional, you know, sense of progression through the level, right? I'm also a huge fan of the fact that the first 2 perks picked here again are supplies and stamina, so the next 2 are just going to be complementary to those 2. You know, this guy's chosen limb health. I think it's a common misconception that heart one is additional HP, which I'm pretty sure is not true. That's just it increases like the limb health. So like, you know, if you jump off of a high cliff or you get shot in the arm or the leg, sometimes you get that debuff where your arm's broken or your leg's broken. It's just resistance against that. So, you know, that perk isn't as effective as I think some people think it is, especially because stims instantly cure any of those side effects. But, you know, I'd still rather have that than reinforcement boosters, so I'm happy to see that. And then we got muscle enhancements, which I'm also always happy to see. That just means we're going to have less trouble running through bushes and stuff. We'll spend less time slowed during this mission, so I'm all for it.
Calling down support. Remember this.
So we're just going to look around. We don't see any enemies.
Die for democracy.
Objective located. South.
And it looks like the team's going to move as a unit here, which is also good. You know, there's a time and a place to split off. You know, if you want to do a quick fabricator or 2,
Got the packet. Dropping
that's
package.
fine. Just, you know, you don't really want to like leave your team isolated though. You know, I think people think it's a show of or a display of skill if they can solo, you know, the entire time they're playing a level, but it's really just not a good strategy for level 9 missions. You know, you need to be covering each other and running objectives with your team. So me and one other guy cleared those fabricators, and now we're just going to beeline it back to the rest of the squad. You know, I'm keeping an eye on them right now. They're doing that objective there. You know, if I decide that they don't need assistance with it, which it looks like they don't, you know, they've essentially killed everything. So I'm going to hop over to the next objective myself, actually, because they're completely safe. And I know they're going to be showing up to help me once they're done there, so I'm just going to get this next one started.
Package. Dropping package.
Reloading.
Package acquired. Dropping package.
So you can see here I come around the corner and there's a ton of enemies, but I pick a choke point here just so that I'm not super concerned about being, you know, blindsided by anything. It's also good to know that my teammates recognize that covering me here is a good idea, so I think the 2 of us are just going to push through. See all these devastators, so I just want to throw a stun grenade just to make sure I don't get mowed down when I least expect it.
300 meters.
Get some. Get some.
And then here's an example of, you know, I see an enemy facing S2 there. Looks to me like he needs cover, so we're going to prioritize killing him and then starting the objective up. We're essentially just going to try to complete these steps in between kills.
Engaging terminal. Dropping a pin. Southeast. 200 meters.
Tagging location. Southeast.
I personally think it's best practices to throw supply pods down near objectives.
Fabricator. South. 100 meters.
I got the
And then once it
terminal.
lands, you ping it just so everyone on the team knows where it is. I personally don't like ever throwing them down on the field unless you're out of stims or grenades, and it's going to cost you your life if you don't. But you can see we ping this one, so the rest of the team knows it's there. And then,
100 meters.
like, I even feel like it's worth just throwing it down, even if you don't need it yourself. But
Location.
just
South.
get in the habit of always throwing it down by an objective, so that in general people just know where to look for them. So this is an interesting situation because here we can see that M4 needs cover, but we also saw that gunship tower. So you're going to see I'm going to try to help M4 as much as I can because I don't want him to get overwhelmed, but I'm going to try to continue peeking to my right, looking for gunships whenever I can, because I know that Jay there is trying to plant a hell bomb, and I need to do everything I can to kill those gunships, because gunships can very quickly overwhelm a teammate or destroy the hell bomb that got planted. Clearly he actually didn't really need the assistance. He was clearly very good and can handle himself, but you know, at least it's good to see the behavior in action, that I was mindful of the situation. I too often try to push gunship facilities myself, only to find out that my teammates just don't seem to have any concern whatsoever for whether or not gunships are in the sky or not. You know, they need to come down as quickly as they go up, so yeah, the only thing that really interfered with my attention to that detail is the fact that my teammate had a whole patrol on him. So make sure you're thinking about things like that at all times. So here's a situation where I know there's a guy on the terminal there, and I hear the bots around the corner, so I'm going to try to cover him. You've probably seen a recurring theme in this video that I like to abuse corners for cover while I kind of creep my way around the corner, killing things one at a time instead of exposing the whole group at once. Corners are also very great for stun grenades, because the stun grenade will stun everything, and then you can run around the corner pretty fearlessly and finish everything off, right? And I had some help there too, so that was very easy to deal with. And again, you'll notice you know, we're getting into these objectives and we're very efficiently clearing them, and there's no dropships, there's very little patrols to deal with, because we're doing it quickly and efficiently. We're not wasting bullets, we're not wasting time. So like, you know, that previous objective is safe now, so the two of us are able to push over here and, you know, get some additional resources and stuff like that. I'm clearly just looking for anything that could summon a patrol and sniping it with my slugger, or taking out large enemies with the autocannon.
I'm on it.
And I guess there's a light automaton fabrication facility over here, so this is just the simplest, throwing the rocket pods in and running.
Here comes the cavalry.
Attacking map, southwest, 300 meters. Box, north, 100 meters.
Calling down a sentry.
So the situation here is why I advise stun grenades. There's a Hulk and Devastator patrol there I did not expect, but in a very reactionary way, just tossed a stun grenade and completely neutralized the Hulk. And then my teammates, as you can see, were, you know, being mindful of the situation and actually covered me instead of running with their backs turned and letting me die there. So, you know, thankfully they're paying attention. So coming up here is a stratagem jammer. So when you see one of these things, like, the first thing you do is you look for a fabricator nearby. If there's one touching the jammer, it's really simple as just blowing the fabricator up with a grenade and it'll destroy the jammer immediately. This isn't the case, so again, like before, I'm pushing into a choke point so I don't have to worry about my sights. And I'm just going to sit here and clear enemies while my teammates, you know, make their way into the area as well. You see I had to reload there, so I threw a stun grenade first. Makes a big difference, just, you know, freezing all the enemies up while I buy myself some time. Yeah, and then, you know, I saw a clear path to the jammer up here, so I'm just going to make a run for it, basically ignoring everything else except for this Devastator, because deactivating this as soon as possible is what's important here.
Engaging terminal. Dropping a pin. West. 100 meters.
And also, by the time you're playing on 9, you should have your stratagems memorized, right? Hell bomb, down, up, left, down, up, right, down, up. So you should just be able to push this in without thinking about it. You know, in lots of situations, having time saves like that could make the difference between getting the bomb off in the nick of time or having the Hulk destroy it or something, right? Or a gunship especially.
Sending in an Eagle!
Hell bomb armed. Clear the area.
Package acquired.
Tagging map. West. 100 meters.
Calling in orbital strike.
So at this point, you know,
Bot asset destroyed.
keeping an eye on my teammates, paying attention to what they're doing, who needs help. I see that there's a large facility here, and they're getting it started, but I'm realizing I haven't really used my orbital laser much this mission. You know, I don't want to waste charges. I have all 3, so I'm just going to toss one here. Really for no reason other than just to make some use of it this run. And this facility is going to have Hulks. It's going to have, you know, tons of small enemies. It'll
Dropping a pin.
help us clear this a lot faster. You know, probably avoid a patrol or avoid some gunships. So
Reloading.
this is a good time to use it. You know, generally I don't just throw them around for combat reasons. I like orbital lasers for. By the way, this is bullshit. I don't know why this guy's not dying. Like, this kind of hitbox nonsense pisses me off. But anyways, yeah, lasers are really good for destroying gunship detectors. They're really good for dealing with bunkers. They're really good for mortar emplacements. You know, I generally use them for objectives only, but yeah, in this case the mission's almost completed and I still had all 3, so just threw it. Why not? And we cleared this large facility without a patrol or a gunship, or sorry, a dropship, so
Requesting air support.
again,
Reloading.
kudos to my teammates.
Package acquired.
There's something coming up here I just want to point out that I hate when other people do. You'll see my teammates firing, and like I'm recognizing where he's facing and going behind him. I really advise not to cross in front of other players.
Package acquired.
So as you can see, we got another objective coming up. I really want to stress that when you push objectives, that you don't initialize the aggro in the area until you're ready to seriously push in, because once you the first enemy is aware of your presence, then you're basically on a timer until a gun or a dropship is signaled. So, you know, you really do have a short grace period to just clear everything in the area, and sometimes that's why it's worth waiting until you have a teammate with you, or until you fully understand what you're dealing with and
Reloading.
who you're going to kill in what order, what guns you're going to be using.
Drop him.
And then you get the thing done quickly, right? So, you know, we got some dropships here, so I'm going to throw some supplies down. I think we'll defend here. And this is a great time for stun
Sending in an
grenades.
Eagle.
There's going to be a lot of stratagems, a lot of auto cannon fire, and a lot of stun grenades going on here. You know, I'm using this rock for protection. So always be mindful of your positioning. You really want to be looking around. Where do I stand? Where do I reload? Is this a good time to reload? Is this a bad time? So,
Reloading.
yeah, I made pretty short work of that. Ping the supplies.
I'll take it. I got the terminal.
Thought I heard some bots over there, but I think this guy's safe to do the objective, so
Dropping a pin.
we'll start clearing
200
ahead.
meters.
So here I'm just looking to see if I have cover. And I recognize there's a patrol, so you know, I'm looking around and I'm thinking, you know, there's a big cliff or a big rock on the left there, so I'm going to use that rock to my advantage. And a stun grenade. Take the hulks out. You know, that rock is obscuring the rest of the enemies from my position, so... You know, I very, very intentionally am standing where I'm standing for this fight, right? Those are things that should be second nature to you. Like, it's not even really like you have to think about it. It's like a muscle memory just to be standing in the right spot.
Dropping package.
You know, reload under cover,
North. Package 100.
throw stun grenades around corners. You know, stun grenades are so good against Devastators because normally they can kill you in less than a second, but you know, you hit them with one of those and you can stand in front of 3 or 4 of them at a time and just blow them away. So I love using them with cover. And this is an example of situational awareness. Like, so always be looking for a strategy. Like, I see that fabricator and I also see the high ground over here, so I know I'm just gonna climb because then I can shoot into this hole. That's really easy to deal with and snipe the enemies from up here as well. So, you know, like I had that planned out in my head from the second I saw, you know, this area from afar. So, you know, it's good not to have tunnel vision and keep your head down. You know, lose your map awareness and stuff like that, because you can make, you know, those seconds that you save doing the right thing can make the difference between a dropship or, you know, an extended push on an objective and then a patrol showing up or something. I don't really have a choice here to kill these because I want to get up to that objective, but my team's also going to need cover, so you'll see I'm going to prioritize covering them instead of running up to the objective. I 100% don't want to just leave them for dead. I see that these Devastators are distracted. You know, this is a great time to be a good buddy.
Package acquired. Dropping package.
Now that I think that they're fine, I'm going to run back around the way that I intended to go.
Package acquired.
I think at this point I'm realizing that they've got that objective covered, so I'm just going to look into the distance and see what's going on over here. There's a facility that I think I can handle, so I'm scanning for patrols and enemies. I'm going to try to get there, avoiding detection. I don't know what happened there. I saw that cannon at the last second and ducked just in time.
Requesting
That
orbital.
made me realize I also needed to throw a
Requesting air support.
laser here.
Delivering payload.
You know, the laser will deal with the cannon. And this is a large facility and my team's a little preoccupied, so... You know, stun grenade for this patrol that I didn't see.
Freedom forever.
Buys me time to kill a bunch of them. So, I bit off more than I could chew there. I'm running for this rock. You know, I see this rock, I want to put it between me and the Devastators. These plants are making my life a living hell. But I've got stun grenades, so that's going to buy me time to reload.
North. 50 meters.
Sending in an eagle.
Boss. Northeast.
I'm using this rock to clear out the threats. You know, those Devastators will be a problem trying to run away. Now there's a Hulk on me. Probably only alive because I killed those Devastators, so... here I'm waiting for the right time to deal with the Hulk. I don't have stun grenades left, so... I think I'm just gonna put enough distance between me and him that I can shoot him without them.
Engaging. I'll take it.
Either that or I need to get a supply pod down.
Heavy. Calling down supplies.
You know, and, you know, obviously I prefer to throw it down by the objective so that the rest of the team can also make use of it.
Terminal.
So that's where we're at now. As you can see, I forgot to ping it, so it's a rookie mistake. But I think at this point we're probably ready to go back over and try to finish that facility off. So
Northwest.
here I look over and, you know, I see a patrol moving up on my team. I feel like maybe it would have been a better call just to back them up and help them, but I guess at the time I felt like they could handle it. Plus I'm kind of keen to deal with this fabricator right here. You know, just get it over and done with so we don't have to worry about it after that objective's done back there. So rocket pods, and I hear the ATAT detect us, so I'm going to kill the miniguns as quickly as I can. Like I said before, the miniguns are the biggest threat on those things, so the sooner you can destroy those, the better. So something that just happened there that you probably noticed was I'm aware that the cannon on the back of the AT-AT is going to shoot me at some point. So you saw me dive roughly when I thought it was going to fire. And, you know, I guessed right. The cannon hit just as I dove, so that sent me flying forward with almost no damage to my health there. So
Reloading.
I guess that's kind of an intuition you develop as well. It's like awareness of the situation. You know, the AT-AT is aware of me, the cannon's got a clear line of sight, and I just, you know, in my gut thought, okay, it's time to dive, and sure enough, that probably saved me. But yeah, I think we're even just leaving it at this point because there's no reason to fight it. You know, the objectives are all finished, the facility's cleared. We just need to make it to extract. So, my team's under attack here. I'm going to cover them. Right.
Objective located. Northeast.
Extraction is available.
I guess on the way back I noticed the rock over there on the left as well, so I figured it wouldn't be a big deal just to go grab them. I don't feel like anybody in this team needs samples, but we hadn't really talked about it, so I'm just gonna grab them anyways, just in case someone does. It's totally convenient at this point in time. You know, if it was inconvenient, I most definitely wouldn't bother, especially because I don't need them. But I'm just going to essentially try to, you know, get over there without being detected, without fighting anything.
Super Earth's finest, back in action.
And I managed to find a clear path. You know, I hear a patrol. I'm probably going to have a look and see if this is necessary to fight. Doesn't look like it is. I'm just going to run around this way where they can't see us.
Shuttle inbound.
There's 3 enemies there. I'm just gonna go through them with a stun grenade instead of going the other way. I have no idea why that stun grenade didn't work. That's total trash. I think this is another situation that kind of pissed me off. That was supposed to be safer than going through the patrol, but almost cost me a death there. Cost me my last stim as well. So I'm coming up now on what looks like a pretty intense extract. You know, my team's got orbital barrages going on, sentries going down. We're basically just looking to throw stun grenades, throw lasers, throw rocket pods. The rocket pods will kill whatever the target devastator is. Anything helps. We're gonna find a nice object to hide behind, you know. And yeah, we're just gonna snipe from here.
Sending in an eagle.
Keep liberty.
I'm just gonna push up.
ETA T-minus 30 seconds.
Feel like there's enemies coming up here, and I'll just hold them back. You know, so here I've got a corner, perfect for stun grenades and the autocannon.
ETA
again, like I've picked this position very specifically.
Arriving at coordinates.
Although I feel like throwing a stun grenade here would have been smart.
Pelican 1
I
landing
didn't,
sequence
and you can see it almost cost me my first death of the video. But, you know, just more stun grenades and more rocket pods here is enough to keep them off long enough, so. There it is. And I guess another thing I failed to mention earlier that, you know, maybe you can observe if you go back, or if you had noticed in that recent fight, I always crouch when I'm shooting. It helps with your accuracy so much. It makes you a smaller target. There's plenty of reasons why it just makes sense to crouch whenever you're shooting. You know, even if I'm on the move and something comes around the corner, I crouch, pull my gun out, shoot, and then stand up and run again, right? I feel like a lot of players actually don't do that for some reason, but it helps tremendously with your accuracy. And of course, here's another reason to pick samples up. Just makes this screen more satisfying, even if they're unnecessary at this point. Yeah, so as you can see here, 0 deaths in the team. It's also worth pointing out that, you know, the kills are pretty evenly distributed, right? Like, it's not like one person's got like 300, one person's got 10 or whatever. It's just, this was a nice, well-balanced team. We were together, we fought together, we killed, you know, evenly and only what was necessary. You know, 140 is a nice low number for completing a mission that quickly. And professionally, like, you know, I'd say that's a pretty ideal situation to look at the end of a run like that. And yeah, and like I understand there's a major order for killing bots at the moment. So I do want to point out that you know, I'm putting my kills in. We're completing these missions quickly, so I'm probably going to do, you know, a few of these in the amount of time it takes someone to get 400 kills and only get one mission done, right? So, you know, they're coming in. Don't think that I'm not contributing, but, you know, it's just a more efficient way of achieving that goal and getting medals at the same time. So just adding these guys because they were all chads. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned a thing or two. You know, hopefully beginner players kind of see what it's like when you actually get out there and do things right, and enjoy. Good luck, Helldivers.